I analyzed over 100 Y Combinator startups, and the ones that became the most profitable did the exact same three things. They didn't raise the most money, they didn't grow the fastest, and they didn't have some secret advantage. You might be thinking the profit comes later, grow first, then worry about your money later, but that thinking is why 38% of startups fail and they run out of cash. Meanwhile, companies like Deel hit $100 million in under 2 years by selling payroll software. In this video, I'm going to show you three things: why the most profitable companies charge more, not less, and how that keeps customers around longer, the way the fastest growing startups get customers today, and why investing in too many channels can kill your startup's growth, and finally, how to know where all of your startup's cash is going so you can keep an eye on burn rate. Let's get into it. Most companies look at competitors, see what they charge, and charge a little bit less to win competitive deals. This is a huge mistake. When you price too low, you attract price shoppers. These people leave the moment something cheaper shows up. Your feedback gets polluted and you end up building for the wrong type of customer. You lose money on each customer, which means growing faster just means you lose money faster. And you train your market to expect cheap, so raising prices later is almost impossible. Higher prices attract better customers. Customers who pay more to take the product seriously, give better feedback, and stick around longer. Let's tackle our first case study, Deel. Deel sells payroll to remote teams. They went from 1 million to 100 million in 20 months. They hit 500 million by 2024, and they're one of the fastest growing YC companies ever. They priced on value, not competition. They targeted emerging markets where the pain was sharpest, and they didn't apologize for what they charged. Here's an easy framework you can use. Calculate the economic value that you generate. Time saved, revenue generated, costs avoided. Price at 10 to 20% of that value. If nobody pushes back, you are too cheap. If you lose every deal on price, it's the wrong kind of customers. The goal is not more revenue. It is better customers who stay, pay on time, and give you better feedback that you can actually eat. Now that you understand pricing, let's talk about how you can acquire customers faster. Most founders try to get customers like this. They post on LinkedIn 3 times a week, they run some Google ads, send cold emails from a purchase list, launch on Product Hunt, hire a part-time salesperson, sponsor a podcast, or go to conferences. Then they wonder why nobody converts. When you spread across that many channels, you never get enough data to know whether each one works. So everything runs at 20% forever. Find one channel and go all in until it works or it does. Only then expand. Now, how you get customers depends on your product and who you're selling to. You don't pick channels randomly. You go where your buyers already are. Here are what the fastest Y Combinator companies are doing right now. Companies like Happy Robot, Reducto, Sola, and Hockey Stack all do the same thing. They put their engineers directly in front of customers. They pick one channel, usually selling direct to big companies, custom pilots for each account, engineers working on site with customers, and demos built around this customer's exact problem. This can easily lead to 10x revenue growth in 1 year. Another case study, Gymshark. Different market, same pattern. They picked Instagram and nothing else. They went all in on influencer partnerships and community content. No diversification, just depth. And then became a billion-dollar brand as a result. Most successful companies get over 80% of their growth from one singular channel. So how do you pick the channel that works for your startup? Ask yourself a few questions. Where does your buyer spend time? What is your unfair advantage? If you're a technical founder, content might work. If you have a sales background, outbound might work. And finally, can you commit to that channel for 3 months? Most channels need 3 to 6 months to show results. Quit early and you learn nothing. Pick one, go deep, and measure everything. And finally, once you start getting customers, you need to know if you're actually making money on them. Pricing determines who pays you. How you get customers determines how fast you grow. And financial visibility determines if you survive long enough for any of it to matter. This is one that founders commonly skip. It feels like accounting and back office work are something that you figure out when you have a finance team. But again, that thinking is why 38% of startups fail by running out of cash. Let's take Twitch, for example. Twitch almost died. They were 2 months from shutting down. 3 things saved them: a layoff, realizing that investors weren't coming to save them, and getting profitable in years 4 and 5. The only thing that allowed Twitch to happen was getting to profitability. Default alive or default dead? There's a simple question that every founder should be able to answer. If revenue keeps growing at the current rate and expenses stay the same, do you hit profitability before cash runs out? If yes, default alive. If no, default dead. Most founders can't answer that question. Runway is simple. It's your cash balance divided by your monthly burn rate. $10 million in the bank, $500,000 in monthly burn means you have 20 months to live. That number should be in your head at all times. Average seed stage burn is between $500K and $150K. Here are 3 things that founders who win actually do. They have one place for all money movement, not 4 bank accounts, 3 credit cards, and a spreadsheet updated manually. They have real-time visibility into all categories of spend: payroll, software, contractors, marketing. They know where every single dollar goes. And they automate the boring stuff. No reconciling receipts at midnight, no end-of-month surprises. Financial visibility is not accounting. It's knowing what is happening fast enough to make good decisions. Companies that get this right catch problems early. They fix small issues before they become bigger ones. And when they raise money, they do it because they want to, not because they have to. To summarize, the YC companies that hit profitability made 3 early bets. Pricing discipline. They charged what they were worth, found customers who got it, and it didn't race to the bottom. Focused customer acquisition. One channel with repetition until you know it works or it doesn't. And financial visibility. This is the one that most founders skip. You can get pricing and customer acquisition right and still die because you didn't see this problem coming. The founders who make it know their runway, their burn, and catch problems ahead of time. None of this is complicated, and almost none do all 3 right. When you do all 3, you stop losing money on customers who were never going to stay with you in the first place. You stop spreading yourself thin across 6 different channels hoping that something works. And you stop checking your bank account at 2 a.m. wondering if you have enough runway to make it. You know exactly what a customer is worth and where they come from and how long you can keep going. That is what every profitable YC company has figured out. Once you have that clarity, fundraising becomes optional. You raise because you want to grow faster, not because you're about to die. But most founders, they never get there because they skip the 3rd part. They figure out pricing and they get customers, but they never build the system to actually see where their money is going. If you want to see how the fastest growing startups manage their banking, cards, expenses, and cash all in one place, check out the link in the description.